Don't Get the World. My name's Alice and today we are customizing pop vinyls. I really like making presents. It's not really a secret, I've spoken about this before. I like hand making presents, I like customizing things because I just think you can give it such a personalized touch to kind of elevate presents to the next level. So I am customizing pop vinyls for some friends. I have done this before for my family. I did it last year, but this year I'm doing it again. I'm basically going to be making some Formula 1 pop vinyls because they don't exist, which is stupid, but here we are. I have also found though that Pop do actually do NASCAR pop vinyls, which is great because it gives me a really good base for the race suit already. So let me talk you through what we're going to do here. So basically the idea is one is going to be Kimi Raikkonen and one is going to be Sebastian Vettel in their World Championship winning apparel. So obviously for Raikkonen that's 2007, for Vettel that's going to be one of the Red Bull looks, probably 2013. Because that's the one I know best. But basically the idea is I'm going to take his head off and then we're going to basically, I've gone for this NASCAR driver because he doesn't have a great deal of hair on top of his head. That's not focused, there we go. He doesn't have a great deal of hair on his head. So what we're going to do is we're going to boil them to detach their heads and then I'm going to customize them. I'm going to take you through this process. See this is a tutorial if you want, or just see it as me having a bit of fun and showing you kind of how these things come together. I think they're going to be really cool. I'm really excited about it and I'll kind of show you like my theory to them or my technique to customize them and stuff. There are loads of videos on YouTube as to how to do this kind of process, and that is obviously where I've got all my information from as well. So let's get these guys boiled and take their heads off and then we'll get to the customization step. Oh, once we wait for the kettle to boil, the process here is pretty simple. You just have to boil them. Basically, we are disintegrating the glue that's currently holding the heads on the bodies, which will just make it easier to personalize design and actually paint the whole body to make sure it's kind of all blended and stuff. You just, for this one, like a super quick warning, be very, very careful when you're taking the pops out of the boiling water because you have to work with them while they're hot to get the heads off. But obviously they're coming straight out of boiling water, so they're gonna be really, really hot. So do just be aware of that if you're doing this. Okay, they're feeling quite bobby, so I'm gonna try now and get their heads off. So again, just be really, really careful at this point. Obviously they are bloody hot. Come on, mate. Okay, that looks good. Should just be able to gently ease here. Oh, well, that'll do. It's one of them. What I kind of wanted to happen was the base plate. Actually, no, I do want the heads off like this because I need to paint the body, so I do kind of want this to come like that. But another way you can do it is this little plate here. Oh, sorry, too high. You can do it as well with this little plate here. That comes off as well on the bodies. But considering I'm going to want to paint all the detailing on the race suits, this is actually a better thing to happen for me for these guys. Now I have two headless pops, or two heads from pops. Oh god, that smells horrible. Two heads from pops and two headless pops all ready for customization. So I'm going to take these, well actually I'm going to let them cool because they're still a little bit warm. But I'm going to take those upstairs now and I will show you what we do next with the dry clay. So we just finished boiling the heads off of the pop vinyls. I just had a thought though about the Sebastian Vettel one. I kind of want to try and get him doing his #1 finger pose, which obviously as you can see from this guy, he's got his hands on his hips. So what I'm going to try and do, because I've had a look and it looks like that the hands are just connected by a little bit of glue and then the arms should come off. So what I'm going to try and do is reboil this one, try and disintegrate the glue on his hand so I can get one of his arms off so I can then remodel his hand. This could go wrong. I could end up with an armless pop, but let's go find out. I have had a really extensive look at his hand. It does look quite simple to remodel. How I'm actually going to get his hand off at the moment, I'm not too sure on that one, but we'll work it out. But it does look like I kind of want this one off. I want his right arm off rather than his left, but his left looks more closer to coming off than his right. No. We'll see. We'll work it out and we'll get one of his hands off. Once again, just a note at this stage, this will be very hot when it comes out of the boiling water. You'll see me using a tea towel to try and not burn myself on the boiling plastic. But do be very, very careful if you're doing this yourself, and make sure you're always careful around boiling water. And if you're young, please don't do this. Get someone older to do it for you, because it's dangerous. Okay. His hand is definitely off. Ah! That was hot. That was really hot. Okay, I'm just gonna stop here. I'm gonna work with what we got. Something's going on there. Okay, so I've got his arm. Which one is it? This one, 3. Now I really want to try. Yes! That worked exactly as I thought it would. Come on. Come on. Boom! One arm successfully detached. A little bit of stuff there, which I will need to sort, but I'll sort that with clay. That is absolutely exactly what I wanted to happen. I am very happy about life right now. Now, how do we get his hand off? Do you reckon a knife? Just gonna cut his hand off. Probably shouldn't be using this, but sod it. Can you even see that? No. I want to do it now whilst it's still warm, because I think it will be easier to detach. Come on, little hand. It's okay. I am actually super, super impressed with myself right now. Okay, so we have one armless pop figure. That's come off exactly how I expected it to. You can't see because my camera's being a bitch, but there's a little socket there now, which means when this is ready to reattach, I can just click it back in with some glue, and now I can reposition that exactly how I want it to. A little bit of clay on the outside to remodel it. He now is handless as well, because I've cut off his little hand. I'm gonna use this hand to kind of look at what kind of modeling we need to do with the clay, but at the moment he has no hand because I'm gonna remodel his whole hand with the clay. I'm super happy with how this showed up. Whether I can now put it all back together is the next question, but we are gonna find that out together. Okay, so now we have the little doodads. One with one arm, one with 2. So we've got Vettel in this hand, Raikkonen in this hand. The first thing I want to do is try and get rid of all of the green off of these, because it's obviously not correct. And I don't want to have to cover the whole thing in clay, because the idea of using the race cars drivers as we have them is that I should be able to utilize the race suits and the design patterns they have on them. So the first thing I need to do is try and get all of this detailing off. I'm going to be using nail polish remover. It should have acetone in it. I don't know if this does. We're going to try this. We're going to try using these on those guys to try and get the paint off. Basically on the inside of the arm, I can also see green, which means the base color of the whole thing is green. So acetoning them or trying to clean them off is not actually going to help us at all. So we're going to move straight on to the clay. So I'm using air dry clay. You can also use oven baked clay, but with the pop vinyls I prefer to use air dry because firstly it air dries, and secondly you don't have to put them back in the oven, and I always fear that when you reheat them they melt again. I'm going to try and replicate his little hand with the clay, but in this kind of position rather than that position. So I really do think I need half of this. What I'm going to do is leave this as a foundation, and then I'm just going to maybe build it up when it's air dried. But until then I'm just going to leave it. So that is the hand done, and if I have any words of advice for anyone who may want to do this, don't do that. That was difficult. That took a long time. The next thing I need to do is their little heads to make them actually look like the people they're supposed to be. Now for that I need to get my computer. Hang on. This kind of look. So the hairline's pretty good for Seb. To be fair, it is pretty good. I think I just need to make it a little bit longer. Maybe bring the front down a little bit as well. So. Seb is pretty much done. So I'm gonna let him set now. There's nothing I can do further with, oh shit. There's nothing I can do further until the hair is set. I'm just gonna cool off the gouges by tapping it with my fingers. I say this like I know what I'm doing. I'm literally making up these steps as I go. I have done these before. I did some last year, but again, that's literally just a base off of what you see online and stuff. But there we go. So that is Vettel's head done. He's going to dry with his hand. I'm probably going to do a little bit more work on his hand when it is dry, but I can't do any further on that until that is all set and the clay is all dry. Now I'm going to leave that overnight because it's air dry clay even, and I like to make sure it's properly dry before I do any further. But we do still have one more little head to do. And when you next see this as well, Kimi's arms will probably be detached because they're going to just be easier to paint like that. As you can see, it is already setting. It's setting on my fingers, which is great. So there you go, there's a little Raikkonen from 2017. So that's kind of all I can do at the moment until all of this is dry, and then we can maybe do some touch-ups, maybe do whatever I need to do. So for now, that's it. I'm gonna leave these to dry, and then next time we come back, we will hopefully be painting. Okay, so we're back in, and since you last saw us, a lot has happened. So they're all pretty much done, as in the customization side of things. I also took the opportunity to paint their race suits, because obviously they were green, so I've given them like a base coat of white, which is obviously so we don't have to contend with the green when we're trying to paint on them. I do think I'm still going to have to use a bit of clay. You can't see that because it won't focus, but I do think I'm still going to have to use a bit of clay on the back here of Seb, so I might have to paint the arms and then stick the arms on Seb and then paint the rest of the torso, but we'll see how technical that gets when we have a look at his race suit. What you can see though is I redid his hand. It's not perfect, but it's much better than it was. Basically I built the stump and then the index finger that's raised, and then I built the rest of the fingers around that. But I basically built the palm of the hand, let that set, built the finger, let that set, and then added these on. I actually do think I had to super glue the fingers in the end because they wouldn't stay. But it's not perfect, but it is much, much better than what we did have. So that's that. But we're going to start with Kimi first. Now I'm going to keep looking over that way because I have a picture of his race suit on that screen over there. So if I keep looking over there, that's why. Basically what I'm going to try and do, because I noticed when I was trying to use the nail polish remover to take off the green that was in fact the green plastic, I did discover that the logos were actually painted on. So I am going to try and do that. When I did the custom ones I did last year, I actually stuck them on. So I printed off the logo, put a little bit of sellotape on it, put that in water, rubbed away the paper, which then leaves the ink on the sellotape, and then I put the tape back onto the pot. The logo looks very clean. It didn't look brilliant because there's just bits of tape stuck on it, and I did have to super glue those on because the tape then wouldn't stick. So it wasn't perfect. If I can paint them on, I think it will be better. So basically what we're going to do now for this session is I'm going to paint the base colours onto these guys, and then I'll go away, have another costume change, and then we'll hopefully go in and do the detailing. So for now, let's just crack on. So basically what that means is we're done for today. I'm probably going to go in and do maybe an additional coat, probably one more, at least one more additional coat, maybe two. And then next time we come back, we will be ready to put logos and brandings on, then glue everything back together, and then we're done. Woohoo! And we're back. I think I've now found a good over-shoulder camera position. You can see it here, but hopefully you can actually see what I'm doing with them this time, rather than what we've had for the last few bits. We have had progress. This will make sense in a minute. So The heads are all painted, the coats are pretty much done. I've coloured in the bottom of their feet as well, so they're all coloured as well. We're on to basically logos and branding. Now you'll notice that this one has some masking tape and this one doesn't. I should have done this at the very start, because that way I don't have to worry about painting on his neck. But basically what I've been doing is I've been doing a little bit of cleanup. What I'm going to do is just show you what I did with the eyebrows. So again, exactly the same technique, exactly the same stuff, acetone free, and I just started working on the area that is his eyebrow. Now eventually the paint will start to come up. I quite like the shape of these eyebrows. I don't want to lose them. So as soon as I start to see the paint lifting like I have now, I will stop so as to not lose too much. Probably need to be a little bit lighter than that. You can see this one is a lot lighter than this one. This one kind of matches better to this colour in the hair, which is what I'm going for. So that is what I'm trying to do. So I'll try and replicate that on the other side now. So that's quite nice and lightened as well. They pretty much match. I'm quite happy with that. So I'll use the dryer now to just try and remove as much of that as possible. Like I said, I've got a tiny bit more cleanup to do, but I'll do that when we're in a position where they're kind of done, and I'll just give them a final cleanup before we finish proper. So my super word of advice to you is don't do it the way I did it. Make sure you protect the neck before you start painting. What I'm going to do now though, is because I've now got to sort out what I just did, is I'm actually going to put the masking tape around the bottom of the neck here to try and protect the rest of the design as much as possible at this stage. Which is what I should have done in the first place. Lesson learned. Because now what I've got to do is paint it all white and then repaint the skin colour, which I will match to the hands. The idea now is to put the logos and the branding on. I've got the picture to my left, so if I keep looking that way, that's why. I'm going to try and hand draw on as much as I can first, and then kind of go from there. These aren't going to be great because I'm working very small. These are looking so cool. I am so happy with the result here. I think my friends are gonna really like them. I hope they do anyway. What I'm also gonna do is just give it a slight tip forwards, because sometimes pops like to unbalance themselves. And this way, hopefully, he will balance correctly, but ta-da! There they are. Oh my god, they look so cool. I'm so happy with this. Like, I am so stoked. I'm so happy with how these have come out. They're basically done. This creating process is now done, so they are fully made. There's nothing further to do on them. Maybe a little bit of touch up, which I'll have a look at in a minute, and maybe do that. But the next thing we're gonna do is redesign their boxes, because obviously their boxes are not now correct. It's no longer Kyle Busch, it is Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel in their World Championship winning race suits, sorry. So I am going to be redesigning the boxes as well. I've done that before on ones I've made for people. So if you're interested in that, that's coming right now. Okay, so the final step of the custom pop vinyl is the boxes. Now, what I've done is basically just done a coat of acrylic white paint. You can still kind of see the design underneath, but this is to just get rid of any block colors, try and make it as kind of plain as possible, because I'm going to put my own labels and my own stickers on the box that will have the design for the custom pops I have made for the Kimi Raikkonen and Sebastian Vettel pops. So both of the boxes are now completely white. They did also have a shiny NASCAR sticker on here to show they were an official product. I've taken that off. I basically peeled as much of it off as I can and then used a wire brush to scrub off the rest. It does work very effectively, but there is, I don't know if you can see, there's a tiny little bit of scratching on the edge of the box there now where the sticker was. You can't really see it unless you're looking for it. So that's only a downside to that. If anyone knows a better way to get rid of those shiny metallic stickers though, please do let me know down in the comment section below, because that'll be good to know. But the boxes are all primed and ready to go. So what I have here on the screen, a template for the pop vinyl boxes. I can't remember where this came from, but if I can find the link to where I found it, I'll let you know, because I actually got it last year when I was making these before. But basically what this means is I now have the ability to turn off layers, reselect layers, do what I want with these layers and build the box knowing that the dimensions are the correct size for the pop vinyl box. The other thing I have is a picture of the pop vinyl itself, because we're going to need this guy specifically here for the edge of the box. So what I'm going to do is let's just crop this down. I haven't sticked them up before. Last time I did it, I just printed it on A4 paper and then sellotaped my paper to the boxes. Obviously very clear I did that, but now I've got sticker paper, so it's just A4 sheets of paper that are stickers. Hopefully that's gonna work better, and I'm gonna do that. Yep, great. So we put number 6 on there. Zoom out a bit to find all the other times there's a number 6. What I'm also gonna do is put both of the designs of the pops on the back, because you know, like when you get a series, you can see all of the pops in that series on the back of the box. So I am going to do that with the 2 I've made this time. So they're kind of like this, they are part of their own series. The great thing about this template is it's so easy. I don't even have to worry about making sure everything's in the right place, making sure I'm using the right font. Need to resize that, but that's fine. I can just move this stuff around a little bit. So I'm just rearrange that slightly. Oh yeah, it's a really good template to use. But basically I'm just going to work through it now and update it in the way in which I want it updated. The box, Jesus, the box is done now. The only thing left to do is design the little the digital graphic of the pop vinyl. So for this I need the little figure that I made. So basically I'm gonna look at him and basically replicate what he's got on there. It's gonna be easy, she says. Okay, so that's pretty much it done. Now what I'm gonna do is take this into the other thing here and then basically just layer him everywhere he needs to go. So I'll do that for him and then I'll do that on the other one as well, and then I will show you the completed products, completely finished and ready to be given out as presents. Applying the box design to the box was really easy. Just cut out the stickers and stick them on. There's little areas that aren't quite perfect. As you can see, the lineup isn't quite perfect. But that's the thing when you're using a universal template. It's not going to fit every box. It's not going to be perfect. I think the template I'm using as well is designed to be printed on an A2 piece of card and you actually build the entire box again. but I've never done that, and now I've done them like this. If I make any more vinyls, pop vinyls in the future, I will definitely be putting the stickers on as I have done there. But that's it. I hope that was a little bit informative, a little bit of fun. I just kind of show you the process of what I did doing these. I've had such good fun making them, and I really look forward to giving them to my friends to get their reactions. I'm so excited for that because I'm super stoked with them, and I think they're gonna love them too. Also, Pop Vinyl, if you ever do see this video, please, 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 please make Formula 1 Pop Vinyls. Really, really want to have to not keep making them. If you make any pop vinyls or anything like that, please do let me know. And if you could talk to Pop Vinyl and get them to make any pop in the world, who would you have them make? I don't know who I would, but it would definitely be a Formula 1 driver. I'd probably have to sit and think about that, because I kind of want a world champion Fernando Alonso, but I'd also want a Ferrari Carlos Sainz. Bit of a toss-up. But anyway, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. It's been an absolute blast as always. If you enjoyed this video, go show that like button some good old-fashioned love. And if you want to support the channel, go hit subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss next time I upload a video. Stay awesome, and I will see you all in the next video! Hell was that? We're grooving with it, we're going with it.